So, good morning, Karin again. This is our third little chat, and we've gone through these words: consider, and considering the lilies of the field and the birds. We've gone through prayer and how that helps, and the third aspect is humility. And I'm going to explain this. We're going to read through 1 Peter 5, verse 6 and 7. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time he may exalt you, casting all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you. So here Peter links these two aspects of humility and anxiety. Now, I would say one of the aspects of depression and mental health is that it makes people isolated. It makes them loners. And I think there is a famous quote from a church leader not too far away who said, a lone ranger is a dead ranger. And that is so true. And part of that problem is we don't have humility. Humility is the opposite of pride. And pride actually isolates us, makes us think we can and we should do this on our own. But the emphasis here is I can't do this by myself. So my question to you is really, where have you found that in some aspects you've found this temptation to be isolated, to be on your own, that you've got to manage this, it's your problem, but actually the solution is in including other people, having them alongside you, helping you. Just talk through some of those aspects that you've experienced personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you say, especially when feeling down, it is very tempting to just hide away or sleep, or just stay at home and not see people. But again, it's not going to do you good either. I mean, at times it's good to have, of course, alone moments in life, but I think especially when feeling down, you really do need people. And over time, I've experienced that actually in different areas. Sometimes it's just having a friend to have a coffee with, and or just again, like going for a walk with, but just having friends who you can share life with, or just or do meals with. And I've also had it especially when our kids were young. At times, I didn't find it very easy because, of course, they were with you all the time, and just having a church community who would say, like, oh, I can help look after the kids for a bit, or well, can I take them out for a bit? And there was a lovely older couple in the church as well when the kids were young, and they'd actually offered, like, hey, every Wednesday morning, shall I just come and pick them up and just so give you a morning off? And for me, there was such a blessing. At the time I lived in Cape Town, so being far away from family, where people just be a big community to me, and would sort of I would be able to, they would share the burden with me, and they gave my children a great morning, and I had some time off, which was such a blessing. So it's having people around you to do life with is really, really important.
Yeah.
If it's to chat, or to do fun things with, but we need people around us.
And it's actually recognizing that you need other people around you. And I think sometimes the challenge is, I don't know whether you felt this, that I'm not sure people would want to be around me. Have you ever felt like that?
Absolutely, yeah. And at those times it was so helpful. There were a few of my friends who would very often say to me, really, whenever you want to chat, call me, or send me a text, or if you need prayer, let me know. And by people sort of saying that regularly to me, because it's not so easy to remember that when you feel down, but people who remind you regularly, say, like, I'm there for you. that really helps, because then you feel like at times when you feel vulnerable that you can approach them. And because people don't always know, of course, how you're doing. So it is important for you to step out, to take initiative, which is hard when when you're struggling, but to have people around you that like, hey, I can actually, even when I'm low, still reach out to you. So it's wonderful when people really are there for you, even in the lower moments.
Yeah. I have this expression I often use, which is, people don't necessarily need to be fixed. They just need to be heard. And finding, because we sometimes, if we're trying to help people, we think we've got to fix them and we've got to do something to make them better.
Yeah.
But actually, the biggest need is really just for someone to listen to them. And listening is something you can get better at. You can actually, you got to listen to understand rather than listen to answer and solve their problem. And I think people with mental health issues really often just need someone who will listen and not try and tell them how to change, what to do, what the problem is. They just want someone who can hear and identify and say, yeah, I can see you're struggling, you're finding it difficult. And those are some of the most helpful moments. So that's why you don't need to be an expert to listen. You just need to be patient, and you need to just listen and be quiet and just express what you've said, just ringing people up, just checking how they are, being willing to just meet up with them and just talk about everyday stuff. But so these are the three things that there are more, but three things we've been covering are consider what God's creation, pray, because in particular we read through the Psalms about people who are praying, being very honest with God. And the third thing is humility, in the sense that we can't do this on our own. We need help. And that's what a church community is all about. It's actually finding people who can come alongside. So, Karin, this has been great to spend this time with you. And maybe we'll do some more later one day. Okay. When you've recovered, maybe.
Exactly. Thanks, Derek.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.